All right, our Mat Chat this week. Now, we've been talking about fear and courage and high performance skills, right? You can't be afraid to make mistakes because mistakes are how we learn, right? Nobody starts out perfect. We all make mistakes. There's an old saying, the master is simply someone who has made more mistakes than the beginner has even tried or attempted, right? So mistakes are okay. Courage is something we want to talk about today. Now, when I ask students a lot of times if courage means that I'm not afraid to do something, a lot of them say, yeah, that's what it means. It means you're not afraid. You have no fear. You can just go out and do what you need to do. But the reality is, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing what you're supposed to do when you are afraid. It's not letting fear beat you. If you're not afraid, you don't need courage to do it, right? It's not scary to do something that's an everyday task. Walking across the room isn't scary, right? If I had to walk across a thin plank over a canyon to be able to save somebody, that would take courage, right? It's still the same chore, but one of them's very dangerous and one of them isn't. So courage isn't the fact that I'm not afraid. Courage is doing what you're supposed to when you are afraid. You know, we teach in our sparring class that a lot of times the safest place to be is in close to your opponent because you take away a lot of their tools. But if you've got somebody bigger than you or higher rank and they're coming at you hard and fast, it's real easy to start backing up. But when you back up, you give in to them and then they overwhelm you, right? The same thing's true in everything. So, and if somebody's bigger than me and they're charging at me, if I step forward and slightly to the side, I take away their size advantage. Because now we're in close and I might actually have an advantage because I can maybe use all my tools where they're limited down to just their hands. So moving in is the smart thing to do, but it's scary. It takes courage to do that. As one of the big fears that most people have is the fear of public speaking. The best way to overcome fear is to do it. So if I'm afraid of public speaking, I overcome that fear by getting up and doing small speeches in front of people. I don't need to get up and give a big long presentation. Just get used to getting up in front of people and doing a small thing. The more you do something, the less you'll be afraid of it, and the easier it gets. Right? It becomes familiar and you realize that you can do it and you'll survive and you're no longer afraid of it. Fear is part of having courage. You can't have courage without fear. So if you're afraid of something, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It means step up. If you're not going to get hurt, if it's just fear of embarrassing myself or fear that I'm not going to succeed, you can't worry about that, right? Everybody fails when they try something new. The person that succeeds is the one that keeps trying and doesn't give up. So keep trying, don't give up, give it all you got, and don't be afraid to succeed. All right? We look forward to seeing you in the next class. Have a great day.